Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now just recently we tested out ESCOFFIER with all of our 3 main crowd DPS in the game right now, but there is one ingredient I wanted to cover in that video which I didn't get the chance to, and that's Neuvillette, because ESCOFFIER has created one of the most OP Neuvillette teams to ever exist, especially at C0R0. Now, to show you what I'm talking about, first of all, on the first half, we're not going to be using Neuvillette here because we do have the Hydro Tulpa as well as the water droplet stuff, so yeah, I will not be playing him on the first half. Whoops, that was an accident. Instead, we will be going for a Varesa overload team alongside Chevreuse as well as iansan, wherever she is, there we go, as well as Mavuika. But then on our second half, we are going for, in my opinion, C0R0 Neuvillette's best in slot team, and one of maybe the best teams in the game right now, with Neuvillette, Furina, as well as ESCOFFIER, there we go, as well as citlali. Now, one thing I should mention is that the footage was recorded beforehand, so in the video you'll be seeing a level 70 ESCOFFIER with 166 talents. I'll also show that off in the character build section. I do just record the gameplay first and then the intro later, so this is a couple days later, which is why I've since upgraded my ESCOFFIER a bit. But like I'm saying, our ESCOFFIER in the showcase is level 70 with 166 talents to kind of counteract this 75% cryo skill damage buff on the second half, so that her performance isn't inflated and it's more in line with a normal ESCOFFIER's performance when you have her like level 80 with like 110-9 talents, 199 talents, 110-10 talents, whatever you choose. So yeah, I just thought I should give that disclaimer, and with that being said, let's just hop right into the run. Alright, and here we are on the first half. Now I'm going to pick up the max HP buff for our Neuvillette, and yeah, as much as I wish I could have brought that team into the second half so we don't have to deal with the 75% cryo damage increase, we clearly can't for very obvious reasons right here. Now, obviously, Varesa is quite strong against the Hydro Tulpa, especially with Mavuika. We just have to make sure we have enough Electro Aura so that we can trigger Overload when we switch to our chevreuse, which I believe we were able to there. I didn't quite see if I'm being entirely honest. Now we are going to Mavuika ult here. Oh, okay, we completely missed. Let's take out this little guy first so that he doesn't go in an enhanced state. I mean, on the bright side, Mavuika will be vaping her hits. Although, you know, I would have preferred if we hit her ultimate in the first place. Okay, we still need a bit more Electro. There we go. We definitely triggered an overload there. Now we can just finish off our rotation. And we hit 342k on our Mavuika. And if we just finish off with our Varesa, there we go. We managed to finish the first half in, that should be under a minute. Yep, 53 seconds. Now then, let's see what we can do here. And I'm not gonna lie, I am so excited for this Neuvillette team. I truly do think this is Neuvillette's best C0 team because, you know, although you only have one other element, it really doesn't matter when Furina, ESCOFFIER, and citlali just give you so many buffs on this team. Okay, now we are going to need to take out his shield. Also, this team is just insane against both Electro shields as well as Pyro shields. This team will literally just melt both of them, and you get both a healer and a shielder. So this team is comfortable as heck. Also, Neuvillette has 44k max HP, so this team is literally so tanky. I do not see how you can die using it. If I die, that's a skill issue on my part right here. Okay, now let's also the team DPS. First of all, the team DPS is very strong. Citlali manages to buff Furina and ESCOFFIER's damage as well because of her rest rate. I mean, of course, Neuvillette as well. I mean, just look how many damage numbers there are here, and also just how consistent the damage is. It's actually insane. And okay, we managed to mess up this part, unfortunately. So we probably could have cleared in under a minute. Now we'll have to see how quick it takes us to clear here. It could have been definitely a quicker clear, but it's still fine either way. Oh, okay, we're missing a bit of energy as well. That is not ideal. Actually, I probably didn't need to burst there on ESCOFFIER. It's good to have ESCOFFIER's burst on this team, but Neuvillette doesn't always, you know, he heals himself quite a bit, so you don't always need it up. But yeah, that was pretty damn easy. We did take slightly over a minute, which, you know, I normally like taking under a minute, but we messed up a bit there, so what can we do? But I will see you guys on the second chamber, and let's see how we do there. Alright, and here we are on the second chamber. Now let me pick up the crit buff here for our Neuvillette. It will get him to about 90 crit rate and 200 something crit damage. Now, I will say, I do absolutely love the Varesa Mavuika team. I also love the Clarand Overload team I use on my other account as well. That's like my two main teams on my other account are normally one a Neuvillette team and then two a Clarand Overload team. But nowadays, I do also quite like running ESCOFFIER on that account as well. I will be picking up Skirk there, hoping we win our 50-50. If not, we're going to have to use our emergency pulls from the Starglitter store, but on this account, it is also normally like Neuvillette on one side and then Varesa Mavuika on the other side, or Ala Keynote. There is just a lot of strong options on this account. We are doing quite a good job here with the construction device, automaton, whatever you want to call it. I will be honest, I hate this enemy a lot. It's one of my least favorite. Although Natlan has introduced quite a few annoying enemies. The Papilla is another one of my least favorites, but yeah, what can we do there? But yeah, as I was saying, I really love the Varesa teams, but ESCOFFIER she's made my Ayaka feel incredible to play. She's given Ryze more team options. I thought Ryze's Melt team with Mavuika was already very strong, but the Freeze team is, I don't want to say it's even better, but it's definitely on the same level, and it does feel just as good to play. But then also this brand new Neuvillette team, like I said, this is my first time playing it, so you know, it's not going to be ideal, but I am definitely enjoying it. Now, technically what I should have done there is I should have used Citlali's EQ first, so that we could get some more particles for our ESCOFFIER, but it's fine, we can learn from that next time. That guy's already gone down. Now for this guy, we can probably vape our burst. I actually don't think we crit there, which is unfortunate, but what can we do? Okay, I think we started with about 40 seconds in this chamber, so let's see how long it will take us to clear this guy. If we just ult here as well, there we go. Now our rotation should be fixed for the next half, and we're about to clear in 7:55. That's less than, is that like a 45-second clear on the second chamber, if I'm seeing that right? Now some people will say, oh, you're only doing that because you get the cryo skill damage buff. I am using a level 70 ESCOFFIER with 166 talents. So yeah, we're actually, if you have a level 90 ESCOFFIER, she'd be performing similarly. But with that being said, let's move on to the third chamber. Alright, and here we are now on the third and final chamber. We do get sprint buff, which is one of my least favorite buffs to grab, but I guess it will get the job done. Now then, once again, we do have to make sure, okay, we did trigger overload there. I did see it with my own eyes there. Now Mavuika should absolutely destroy these guys with her ult. Okay, 300 something K, good enough. And now we have these guys. We just need to make sure we don't die to them, because they can do a fair bit of damage. So, you know, it'll be a bit awkward if we died. Luckily, we do have chevreuse and iansan here for healing, although their healing numbers aren't actually that high. But, you know, since it's two characters doing a bit of healing, it's better than no healing whatsoever. Okay, they are at about half HP already, so we're doing quite well for ourselves here. If we just go again and we go for another ult, okay, perfect. Please don't hit me, thank you very much. Get a bit more electro on them. Oh, okay, and we're gonna end up clearing in about 50 seconds, I want to say. Yep, 49 seconds, close enough to 50. So let's just remember that for this half. Now I know a lot of people love discussing whether Neuvillette or Mavuika are the better DPS. Personally, of course, I do think that Mavuika can hit higher damage, although I do just prefer Neuvillette as a DPS. For me, Neuvillette is still the #1 DPS. I mean, he just has so many C0 team options. He's just so easy to play. I mean, look at these 40k ticks when we're literally running a healer and a shielder as well. You know, we don't have to gimmick around with reactions, stuff like that. You literally just go through your team rotation. Also, on the normal Neuvillette teams with Kazuha, you basically have to do the thing where you do like 2 skills. I'm still doing it here, but honestly you could just go EQ and then just free charge attacks and then do it all over again, and you'll probably have energy because Furina, you know, also helping to get more hydro particles. Now that also funnels Furina a bit. ESCOFFIER and citlali can help each other with energy. So yeah, this team is just so easy to play. Like I said, I do think this is Neuvillette's new best C0 team. There is, you know, you do also have the Mavuika team you can play them in, and oh, okay, we cleared this floor in 1 minute, but yeah, if you'll just allow me to yap a bit more, I do feel like Neuvillette just has so many good team options. You know, you can run them with like Mavuika, you can run like Furina, Shilonen, and Mavuika, or citlali instead of Shilonen. You could also run him just as a hyper carry with like, let's say, Furina, Kazuha, and Shilonen, or maybe citlali instead of Shilonen if you want to run a shielder, or you need one of them on your other half. So that's like, so yeah, you have the hyper carry option, the dual DPS with Mavuika option, and now you also have the ESCOFFIER version. These are all very strong C0 teams. Now, of course, the hyper carry one will be best if you have C1, but if your Neuvillette is C0R0 like mine, I think this team just works incredibly well. It doesn't matter that he only gets 1 stack of his passive. The team DPS is just so high from both Furina as well as ESCOFFIER, and then Neuvillette's DPS is also very high. It's just very comfortable. You have a shield. Enemies get frozen as well, so you barely get hit. It's just so easy and comfortable to play. The buffed uptime also lasts very well. It's so easy to build as well. None of these characters are difficult to build, so yeah, it's definitely one of the strongest teams in the game and one of my favorites. But with that being said, let's move on to a few more final thoughts, the character builds as well as the outro. Well then, as you guys can see, these two teams are some of the strongest in the entire game, but the Neuvillette team is literally just so easy to play, so comfortable, and both his DPS as well as the team DPS is just absolutely insane. I don't know why I have Shenhe here, that's supposed to be citlali, but oh well. Anyway, when it comes to our team, starting off with our first half team, our Varesa is finally on the brand new set. She's slightly overcapped on crit rate, let's ignore that for a bit, but 100 crit rate, 175 crit damage on the brand new plant set using a level 90 R1 lost pair. We did have an old build where we used to use Widsith as well as Obsidian, but since I didn't want to steal Ryze's weapon and I can't be able to change weapons around, this is the build we're going for. But they're very similar, so if you don't have a lost pair, then I would recommend switching to Widsith, and then you can run Obsidian as well. When it comes to our relics, as you can see, we do have the brand new set here. We have about 39 crit value here on our flower, about 34 crit value here on our feather, only 19 crit value here on the sands, but at the same time it allows us not to overcap on crit rate. For our goblet, we have 13.2 crit rate here and 10.9 crit damage. As you can see, there's a lot of crit rate going into this build right here. And then we do also have crit damage circlet with 12% crit rate, one of the best circlets I have on my account. So yeah, as you can see, we picked up a lot of crit rate substats. There's literally basically over 9 on 4 of our pieces and then none on our sands whatsoever. And then she's also E0 with 10, 6, 10 talents. For our chevreuse, as you can see here, she is on nearly 30k max HP, 128 ER. Her weapon is only a level 20 Favalon, so whoopsies, I would want to get that up, but I can't do that right now. Running her on Noblesse to give an attack buff to both our Varesa as well as our Mavuika. Some of her pieces aren't fully leveled because I was running out of artifact XP for a bit. She isn't C6, so we don't get that boost from C6, and she is also 111 1 talents. When it comes to our iansan, 2.3k attack, 45 crit rate for Fav, 197 ER, so we basically always get her ult. She does have a level Fav lance because, you know, her attack is more important than chevreuse's. As you can see, we have about 4 Fav lances here. We have one more just in case. I've gotten so many Fav lances on discount, which I'm very happy about. I think it's been like 10 or 11 I've gotten, but I haven't had the time to upgrade all of these because they can be a bit annoying to upgrade sometimes, but we still get the job done. And then she is of course on the Cinder City once again to buff both our Varesa as well as our Mavuika. She also isn't C6, she is also only C2, so once again this team's performance could be boosted if we had both chevreuse and iansan C6, but I kind of prefer it that we don't because I get to make the team slightly more relatable. When it comes to our Mavuika, 59 crit rate, 242 crit damage. So this is basically 99.9 crit rate, so you know, we're more likely to get an early 5-star than we are not to crit. Serpent Spine R1, you could also change this for a Wolf's Gravestone, that would also be very fine. Or if you have the event weapon, you can change it to that. But yeah, for the artifacts as well, of course, Obsidian, some pretty decent pieces here, just trying to make sure we don't overcap on crit rate. Goblet as well on Marseille, and then, you know, our circle isn't the best, but this is just about the amount of crit rate we need. Constellations once again C0 with 1 8 10 talents. Now when it comes to our Neuvillette team, our Neuvillette has 48 crit rate, that goes up to 84 thanks to Marseille, basically 230 crit damage as well, a little bit of ER as well on an R5 prototype Amber. For his relics, we have this off-piece flower to get him a lot of substats. That's over 40 CV right there, and then we have about 34 CV here on our feather, about 38 on our sands, on HP sands of course, and then we are on piece hydro damage goblet. We have about 27 crit value, which, you know, it's not the highest crit value, but it is on piece, so we'll take it. The 13% defense is slightly annoying. And then crit damage with 10% crit rate as well as 16 ER on the circlet. For our furina, it's 64 crit rate, 183 crit damage with 222 ER on Fav as well to help generate particles for our entire team. Golden Troop, she's got the best pieces, and then ESCOFFIER took over her leftover pieces. Now, one thing I should say is also this outro is also getting recorded slightly after the run as well. I just wanted to get the footage as early as I could. I recorded this at the same time as the crowd DPS, so what I'm going to quickly do here is swap the footage over to the ESCOFFIER I was using in the video. So as you can see, our ESCOFFIER here is level 70 with 50% crit rate for Fav, as well as her damage, as well as 165 crit damage, once again for her personal damage, with about 135 ER, with a decent bit of it coming from our Fav lance. I do wish I could level it up a bit more for her healing and stuff. Once again, her talents are 166, just to prove that it is the case. So yeah, a fair bit of work we can do to increase both her personal damage as well as her healing, if we just upgrade our weapons and talents a bit more. She does have the leftover pieces from our furina, and then we are running her on attack, as well as crit damage on Golden Troop, of course, and then once again she is C0. But now that that is shown, let's go back to our citlali instead of Shenhe, where you can see that our citlali is on 31 crit rate, 50% crit damage, 166 ER. Most importantly though, she does have 775 on Fav. She's on Thrilling Tales, which actually on this team doesn't help us. To get more EM, I'd probably put her on like Mapamare or Sacfrax or Fav if I wanted to. Thrilling Tales is just for whenever I run her with Mavuika or Alakino, but I just wasn't bothered enough to change it. And then for the rest of her relics, of course she is on the Sinnoh City set. Once again, gives the damage bonus to our Furina, as well as our Neuvillette, as well as our ESCOFFIER, increasing all of their personal damage, along with the rare shred that she provides for all three of those as well. So yeah, she's just a great buffer for this, and then she also gives us so much comfort with her shield. Once again, she is C0 with 196 talent, so her thing could be even tankier, but the most important thing here is the talent here. There we go. So yeah, that's it for our character builds. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think of this Neuvillette team. Me personally, I think it is the strongest and easiest team to play in the game, C0R0, but let me know your guys' thoughts down below. With that being said, I'll see you guys next time. See ya.